friends, family, honored guests, good morning and welcome. I am Christopher Allen Bracey, Interim Provost of the George Washington University. Please rise and join me in welcoming the classes of 2020 and 2021 of the George Washington University. friends, family, and honored guests, please welcome the faculty of the George Washington University. Friends, families, and honored guests, please welcome the members of the George Washington University Administration, our very special awardees and honorees, the Board of Trustees, Chair Grace Spates, and President Thomas LeBlanc, escorted by the GW Police Department Honor Guard. On behalf of my colleagues on stage and my colleagues throughout the university, I am delighted to welcome all of you to commencement on the National Mall in the 200th year of the George Washington University. We will continue our ceremony with the presentations of the colors by the George Washington University Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps Ceremonial Color Guard, and the national anthem sung by Millicent Scarlett, a professor in the Department of Music. Would those who are able please stand and remove your hats? We will remain standing for the retiring of the colors, followed by an invocation from Professor Mohammed Faghfouri.
Today, we gather here to celebrate a very unique graduation ceremony, one that will never be forgotten. It has been a very special year, filled with emotions and anxiety. First of all, Let's join hands and say, thank you, Lord, for protecting us against many challenges of coronavirus. Thank you, God, for giving us patience and wisdom to deal with the pain of so many losses we suffered. Thank you, Lord, for the privilege of studying in one of the finest institutions of higher education in the country. Thank you for opening our hearts to receive the gift of knowledge. Oh God, we did not go through this road alone. We thank you, Lord, for the blessing with the support of our parents, teachers, friends, our institution, and communities, and all who walked with us step by step in this journey. Oh Lord, in this very difficult time that the world is going through, extend your mercy to the world. Cure the illness of the sick and heal the pains of those who are suffering from war and violence. Show your mercy and bring peace to the world. Thank you, Almighty, for giving us the strength and to our students to go through this stage of their lives. Your kindness and generosity made this journey possible and easier for them. Oh God, help this group of people who have come a long way here. Guide them to use the knowledge they obtained to serve fellow human beings here and around the world. Oh God, we dedicate this happy celebration to you and thank you for leading and guiding us all. Our graduates have left our university, but their hearts will be on this campus for many years to come. We ask you, O God, to bless them and protect them in their life journey. May God bless you all. Be happy and proud of your achievements, but be humble. May you stay young at heart for the rest of your life. Amen.
Please be seated. Class of 2020 and 21, congratulations. I am delighted to open this ceremony in this one-of-a-kind setting, the National Mall. It is a fitting tribute to your achievement in completing your studies at the George Washington University. I would like to give a special recognition to all of the family members, friends, faculty, and staff who join us today and have been important pillars of support to our graduates. I also want to acknowledge the numerous alumni and friends who generously funded the scholarships that helped give many of you the opportunity to attend. At GW, It is our job to ensure that we are providing our future leaders with a challenging academic experience and pushing the frontiers of knowledge through impactful research. When you committed to being a GW student, you committed to charting a new, better future and transforming the world after leaving our doors. As students, you developed important skills to help you in this endeavor. Your study habits and writing improved. Your research hypotheses became more sophisticated. You completed impressive internships. Your passion burned, your horizons expanded, and your confidence grew. Now you've been out in the world using these skills and becoming a better version of yourself each day for quite a while. It is a rare privilege for us to have so many of our graduates back together again after a long absence from GW. We do not take this privilege lightly, and we are thrilled to be here today to celebrate your graduation and all the ways you have already started making the world a better place. I now have the honor of introducing Grace Spates, Chair of the university's Board of Trustees and an alumna of the university. Chair Spates.
Thank you, Provost Bracy. Congratulations, classes of 2020 and 2021. As chair of the Board of Trustees and as a proud GW Law alumna, it is my honor to be here with you today as we applaud all of your achievements. And because this is a slightly delayed ceremony, there is so much to celebrate today. Of course, we celebrate your years of hard work and commitment to your studies, the meaningful and lasting relationships you have built with your classmates and mentors, and your place in the George Washington University Alumni Association, whether you became alumni a year and a half ago or just earlier this year. We also must recognize the incredible things you already have begun to accomplish in your lives and careers since receiving your GW degree. Perhaps you sit here today newly promoted. Maybe you have begun another degree program. No matter what path you have taken, you walk as a leader, armed with the tools to succeed in whatever you do. You walk the path as a leader who has committed to being a lifelong learner, eager to continue building your knowledge in your specialties and hopefully to begin learning brand new things as well. And you walk the path as a leader destined to make positive impact on the world. Leadership, especially during a time of increasing uncertainty, is a great responsibility. But you are not alone. You have the support of your mentors, your friends, your families, and of course, our alumni community and the George Washington University Alumni Association. On behalf of the board and your fellow alumni, I wish you every personal and professional success as your journey continues. And I am excited to see all of the great things you will do. Congratulations again. I am now pleased to invite the president of the university to join me at the podium. Dr. Thomas LeBlanc leads a community of faculty, students, and staff that numbers more than 33,000 people. Please join me in welcoming the George Washington University's 17th president, Thomas LeBlanc.
Chair Spates, university trustees, honorees, faculty and staff, family and friends, and the classes of 2020 and 2021, good morning. First, I hope you will join me in thanking our host, the National Park Service, for its gracious and generous help preparing this incredible setting for today. I'm delighted to join our community today to celebrate our graduates' achievements, and at last, on the National Mall. At our great university, we call this an only at GW moment. So for posterity, I'm going to take a picture, and I'd like you all to smile and just take one step to the left. Perfect. There's no greater joy as president of this university than to see our students discover their passions, to learn and to grow. Especially through times of change and challenge, your contributions to our world shine as great forces for good. Thanks to you, GW has been a force for good for 200 incredible years, a historic milestone that few universities accomplish, and one that even fewer graduating students are directly a part of. This long legacy is a testament to the strength of our community. And today, this legacy continues thanks to each and every one of our graduates. Today is a day to celebrate all of this, but most of all, it is a day to celebrate you. It is also an opportunity to thank your families and loved ones and all of those in our GW community and beyond who have supported you on this journey. Let's take a moment to recognize all the people who have supported you on your GW journey. With the family and friends of our classes of 2020 and 2021, please rise to accept our congratulations and thanks. Today is also a time, after many years of your hard work, persistence, and resilience, to celebrate how your experiences at GW have changed you, how your leadership has changed GW, and how you already are creating a better world, using the knowledge you gained at GW, and your commitment to serving others to improve lives. Classes of 2020 and 2021, you have earned this day. Congratulations. I now have the special pleasure of recognizing 3 of our honorees today. These individuals have made unparalleled contributions to science and medicine, to our university, and to our country, and they represent the many scientists and frontline workers who have worked tirelessly to keep us healthy and safe throughout the pandemic. It's fair to say without their work, we would not all be here today in person. The recipient of the first President's Medal will be introduced by Niku Nurmohammadi. Nico graduated this year with a Master of Science in Anatomical and Translational Sciences from the School of Medicine and Health Sciences. She has had papers published in the Journal of Applied Physics, and she has worked at the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke within the National Institutes of Health to study neurological impacts of disease, including COVID. She aims to become a physician. Niku?
President LeBlanc. President LeBlanc, although he is unable to attend in person today, it is my honor to join you in awarding the President's Medal to Dr. Anthony S. Fauci.
Dr. Anthony S. Fauci is director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases at the United States National Institutes of Health. where he oversees an extensive research portfolio devoted to preventing, diagnosing, and treating infectious and immune-mediated diseases. In his distinguished career, Dr. Fauci has made seminal contributions to science. A key advisor to presidential administrations on the global HIV/AIDS issues, Dr. Fauci has led initiatives to bolster medical and public health preparedness against emerging infectious disease threats, such as pandemic influenza and, most recently, COVID-19. Given his steady leadership through the pandemic, Dr. Fauci has become a household name, reinforcing his well-earned recognition as an expert guided by science and a deep commitment to protecting the health of all people across the country and around the world. As a researcher, Dr. Fauci has for decades conducted pivotal studies that underpin the current understanding of HIV/AIDS and efforts to develop therapies and tools of prevention. Dr. Fauci was one of the principal architects of the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, which has helped save millions of lives throughout the developing world. Dr. Fauci is a member of the U.S. National Academy of Sciences, the U.S. National Academy of Medicine, and many other professional societies. He is the recipient of numerous awards for his scientific and global health accomplishments, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the National Medal of Science, and the Mary Woodard Lasker Award for Public Service. He has been awarded 45 honorary doctoral degrees, including one from our own great university, and he is the author, co-author, or editor of more than 1,300 scientific publications, including several major textbooks. Dr. Fauci's contributions to research, public service, and leadership in our nation's pandemic response make him a most deserving recipient of this university honor. In recognition of all the foregoing, I am proud to award Anthony S. Fauci the George Washington University President's Medal.
Thank you, President LeBlanc. I am very sorry that I cannot be with you in person. However, I am truly humbled and extremely grateful to receive this distinguished honor. The upheaval caused by the COVID-19 pandemic has been profound and historic. For 20 months, this global crisis has contorted our lives in formerly unimaginable ways, impelling us to be creative, adaptable, and resilient. The takeaway lessons extend far beyond those learned with traditional classroom walls. I extend my sincere congratulations to the George Washington University graduates who, despite extraordinary constraints and uncertainty, persevered and are being celebrated here today. Although the pandemic continues to rage, every person who is vaccinated against COVID is helping to mend the fabric of our lives and is uniting in our shared resolve to return our communities to its former vibrancy. I am delighted that you are holding your commencement celebration live on the National Mall, a sign of progress, a decision of strength, and a message of hope. Please be assured our collective commitment and continued efforts will help us achieve a successful end to this unprecedented public health emergency. Congratulations on the bicentennial of your great university. All best wishes to the graduates. And once again, thank you so much for this great honor.
The second recipient of the President's Medal will be introduced by Vivica Ferns. This year, Vivica graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Public Health and received the Distinguished Scholar Award from the Milken Institute School of Public Health. She was named a 2021 Presidential Fellow and has returned to GW to pursue a master's degree in public health in support of her commitment to eliminating health inequities by advancing accessible and quality health care for vulnerable populations. Viveka?
President LeBlanc, it is my honor to present to you Dr. Cindy Liu.
Dr. Cindy Liu is an associate professor in the Department of Environmental and Occupational Health at the Milken Institute School of Public Health and chief medical officer of the Antibiotic Resistance Action Center. Dr. Liu leads multiple multidisciplinary research projects that are funded through the National Institutes of Health and other governmental agencies and foundations, where she develops novel strategies to prevent and treat infectious diseases, as well as advances antibiotic stewardship in consumer healthcare sectors. Her career mission is to shift clinical and public health practices through rapid diagnostics and through new therapeutics based on our understanding of the human microbiome. A clinician scientist, Dr. Liu has had far-reaching impact both in her field and in support of our own community's health and safety. Early in the pandemic, Dr. Liu pivoted overnight to become an expert in coronavirus infection and related science, supply chains, and regulatory issues. She spearheaded the creation of GW's on-campus COVID-19 testing laboratory, which performs thousands of COVID-19 tests each week. This lab's ability to analyze a large number of samples in-house within the same day has played a key role in GW's ability to safely bring students, faculty, and staff back to our campus. On an emergency basis, Dr. Liu also carried out research directed at keeping our essential health workers at work, detecting asymptomatic as well as symptomatic infections, and understanding the onset of immunity, and preventing individuals from infecting each other. Dr. Liu's leadership and contributions have been foundational to our university's ability to continue to fulfill our mission through the most difficult days of the pandemic, and her expertise and ingenuity have protected countless individuals in our community. Her commitment to science, selfless service, and leadership in our university's pandemic response make her a most deserving recipient of this honor. Cindy Liu, in recognition of the foregoing, I am proud to bestow upon you the George Washington University President's Medal.
Thank you so much for this honor. It is Thank you. Thank you so much for this honor. And it is amazing to be here with all of you at the commencement that is also recognizing Dr. Fauci, who is our national public health hero. I know that most of you don't know who I am, and that's totally okay. The truth is that I'm a very unlikely person to be getting this award. I was born and raised among the rice paddies in a place that is now known as the most polluted town in Taiwan. I did not learn English until I was 13 and had to repeat 9th grade. I have the best parents in the world, and they're here today. But when I was going through my education and training, there were no leaders that looked like me. Even now, all the Lyft drivers around here still think that I'm going to class, probably as an undergrad. And when the pandemic started, I was a sleep-deprived new mother of a 6-month-old. That is me. But during the pandemic, I started by getting my medical license here in DC, then getting a clinical lab license for the new testing lab, and eventually an FDA emergency use authorization for a GW molecular test for COVID. We bought supplies day and night, from the smallest pipette tips to the large robotics instruments. We built the software for running the testing lab from the ground up. We configured the electronic health records that you use to schedule your tests and get your results. We helped to build the testing sites where you go and collect your samples. I designed the lab, we built it, equipped it, we hired a new lab team, trained them, and then started testing the GW community. And we did all that in less than 10 weeks. And of course, I did not do it alone. It was one of the great honors of my life to work with 8 others from my research lab who, despite their own small children, despite some that only have joined GW weeks ago, they joined me in this effort without hesitation. And it was my great privilege to have also worked with other GW public health faculty who set up the campus COVID support team, as well as with Dean Lynn Goldman and others. And others from GW Health and Safety and the School of Medicine. This is for all of you. Dear graduates, dear class of 2020 and 2021, as you know, we are living in an extraordinary time. It is not just the pandemic, it is antibiotic resistance, it is the opioid crisis, it is social economic inequalities, it is climate change. To overcome these challenges, we'll need many, many more acts of courage, of determination. And we're facing so many uncertainties. But I do know one thing for sure. I know that tomorrow has to be better than today. I know that your world tomorrow, the world of my daughter, has to be safer, healthier, more prosperous, more equal. It has to be. There is no other way. There is no other way. And so when you leave here and when you find the greatest good that you can do, it doesn't matter that no one from your family, no one from your hometown, no one that looks like you has ever done it or even tried it. It doesn't matter that everyone says that it is impossible. When you find the greatest good that you can do, you do exactly that. You do just that. And me who truly was the least among them, but who did not, who does not, and who will not give up. I will fight for that better tomorrow with you. I will fight for that inevitable better tomorrow with all of you. Raise high.
That newborn baby is that beautiful young lady over there in the third row. You hope to be inspired at commencement. I'm inspired. I hope you are as well. The third recipient of the President's Medal will be introduced by Anjali Subramanian. Anjali graduated this year after completing the Joint Physician Assistant and Master of Public Health program in the School of Medicine and Health Sciences. She is currently pursuing a clinical career as a physician assistant in the DC area and has a professional interest in emergency medicine and critical care. Anjali?
President LeBlanc, I am honored to present to you Professor Andrew Marano.
Professor Andrew Marano is an associate clinical professor of emergency medicine and associate clinical professor of physician assistant studies at the School of Medicine and Health Sciences. Professor Marano has led a distinguished career defined by care, service, and mentorship. His many years at the university, he has been a valued teacher for GW residents and students. He has provided care in the emergency department of GW Hospital while also serving as director of event medicine for the GW Medical Faculty Associates, where he has treated thousands of patients. Professor Marano is a national leader in disaster and operational medicine. He served the Department of Health and Human Services National Medical Response Team, and he is a medical officer for one of HHS's disaster medical assistance teams and has deployed to several national disasters. He was appointed as the clinical advisor for emergency preparedness for Washington, D.C.'s Health and Medicine Coalition and served on the DC Health COVID-19 Task Force. Here at our university, Professor Marano has offered invaluable leadership for both the Medical Faculty Associates and our COVID-19 response teams, which have provided emergency medical care and testing services, including for special populations such as individuals in nursing homes, correctional systems, and those experiencing homelessness. He was integral in forming a vaccination partnership with the district government and setting up its largest vaccination site, leading to the vaccination of more than 45,000 individuals. Professor Marano developed the Department of Emergency Medicine's Operational and Event Medicine program, which has provided on-site medical care to hundreds of people, including at presidential inaugurations. He also has helped to establish a medical reserve corps, providing an opportunity for health professionals to be trained to provide medical care in DC during periods of need. Professor Marano's dedication to medicine, selfless service, and leadership in our university's pandemic response make him a most deserving recipient of this honor. Andrew Marano, in recognition of all the foregoing, I am proud to bestow upon you the George Washington University President's Medal.
Thank you, President LeBlanc, Board of Trustees, fellow faculty and students. It is with a humbling pleasure today that I accept this award. I accept this award on my behalf and my family's behalf, but more importantly, the entire Department of Emergency Medicine here at GW, and the hundreds of men and women who showed up each day to don PPE and take on the challenges of this pandemic. I especially thank the university and its leadership. Countless days we would bring programs to the university. We want to set up 311 centers, health centers, testing centers, go into nursing home, develop strike teams. We want to be the solution. And the unwavering answer from this university was always yes and never questioned. I thank them for that. And now, as Dr. Fauci was saying, we reflect on the last 20 months of this pandemic. From the onset of this virus until today, this pandemic has been filled with many unknowns. We have seen many respond to those unknowns with fear, some with question, some with frustration, and even those with anger. For those of you who have recently graduated, I ask that you look at the unknowns of this world as an opportunity. First, as an opportunity to learn something new each day and grow from that knowledge. Second, as an opportunity to listen to those fears, those questions, those frustrations, and even those with anger. But not with the intent to respond, but with the intent to understand. Your ability to understand those in your community will foster a community of tolerance. And it is only with understanding and tolerance that you will be able to adapt and innovate and take on the challenges and the unknowns that lie ahead. Thank you very much for this honor.
My congratulations to our Presidential Medal recipients for this great honor. I would now like to introduce Christine Brown Quinn, President of the GW Alumni Association.
Thank you, Provost Bracey. To GW classes of 2020 and 2021, at long last, it's come. Welcome to your commencement on the National Mall. I know that you were technically already welcomed into our alumni community during your virtual celebrations in May 2020 and May 2021. Still, as a proud graduate of the George Washington University School of Business, I'd like to have a shout out to the School of Business and our Dean Marocha. I am thrilled to greet you today as fellow members of our global family, which has more than 300,000 alumni from 150 countries around the world. And I can attest personally to that global reach, as I have lived in London since completing my MBA in International Business in 1992, where we have a thriving GW student and alumni community. I'd also like to welcome our alumni emeriti, those who graduated GW 50 or more years ago, and they're seated in the front in the gold caps and gowns. Please join me in a round of applause. Graduates, by now, I get it. You're a little tired of hearing about those unprecedented times that you've lived through, and in many ways are still living through. But today of all days, I think it's important to acknowledge and congratulate yourself on exactly what you have achieved during this extremely trying period that brought you here today. You stayed committed and focused on your studies, maybe while balancing family, work, health challenges. You graduated from this fine institution. Then you might have started a new job, or packed up, or moved across the country, or moved overseas, or maybe even moved to the other ends of the world, all during a pandemic. These are huge life challenges to tackle during unprecedented times. But as GW students and now alumni, you were ready to meet that challenge. GW prepared you with the skills and knowledge to be flexible and adaptable problem solvers and leaders, characteristics that have put you at the forefront of thinking about, responding to our rapidly changing world. These qualities are crucial to today's workforce and economy, which are being challenged to imagine new ways of doing things. And while they make you immensely valuable to your current and future employers, they also make you stronger individuals. I do hope you won't face another pandemic in your lifetime, but there will be other challenges, I can guarantee you, other challenges to overcome. With all that you've learned and experienced over the past year and a half, you're ready to face anything. So in case it hasn't occurred to you yet, or no one's mentioned it to you lately, I just want to say, you are incredible. I am awed and humbled by what you have achieved. We are so thrilled to have you as part of the alumni community, the alumni family. We are stronger together, and the experience and perspective that you bring makes us even stronger. As an alumni community, we are a community built on trust and shared common experience. We will always be there for each other. We will be there for you as you build your careers, as you change your careers and navigate life. And we want you to remain active and engaged with us as part of our family for years to come. Congratulations and raise high. It is now my great pleasure to introduce your Class of 2020 commencement speaker, S.J. Matthews. S.J. graduated with a BA in Classical Studies from the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences. As an undergraduate at GW, she served as a Student Association President and participated in the Women's Leadership Program. She currently works on Capitol Hill and is pursuing a master's degree in legislative affairs at GW's Graduate School of Political Management. Please welcome S.J. Matthews.
Better late than never, right? I'm truly honored to be here with you all today at what is an amazing celebration of our accomplishments here at GW. First, let me say welcome to the guests we have here today, parents, grandparents, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, friends. Welcome and thank you for being here to celebrate with us, and thank you for all you've done to get us to this moment. To my fellow graduates, congratulations on this, no pun intended, monumental achievement. I'm sorry, I had to. While none of us could have expected what would happen after we left campus in March of 2020, we made it through. And it was during this last year and a half that we leaned on our GW community more than ever. From late night Zoom calls to parking lot hangouts, we found a way to stay connected when everything else felt uncertain. As GW students, we've had the unique opportunity to sit in the front row for events that will fill future history books. When many of us started as freshmen, we voted for the first time in the 2016 presidential election. Many attended the inauguration on this very spot, and many of us marched in the Women's March shortly after. We have seen we can go right after this. We've seen divisiveness, yes, but we've also seen extraordinary examples of humanity and people reaching out to others in their hour of need. During this last year and a half, we've once again found ourselves with a front row seat to history. Many of us had to completely change our lives during the pandemic. We left GW and entered into a world completely different from the one we started in. But we worked hard, we persevered, and we made it here today. And while many of us may not be exactly where we thought we would be, we can rest easy knowing that we're not alone. And of everything going on in the world, it is very easy to feel defeated and to feel like no matter how hard we try to make a difference, that the world is just too broken. This is simply not true. To quote anthropologist Margaret Mead, shared by my favorite fictional president, Jed Bartlett, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful and committed citizens can change the world, because it is the only thing that ever has. But you know this. No, not because you binge-watched The West Wing your freshman year. You know this because you live this every day. Each one of you this last year and a half has come together in your own way to change the world. You have volunteered in your communities, you have served as frontline workers, you have gone back to school, and you were there for your families. And for that, you deserve a round of applause. In short, you stood up. You stood up for what is right, you stood up for those who are mistreated, and you stood up for each other. And it is those choices that have defined your time as a GW student. And it is those choices that will define you as GW alumni for the rest of your lives. I don't need to tell you to go out and change the world, because as GW students, you've been doing it for years. I only hope that you leave here today knowing that you have an army of supporters who'll be rooting for you every step of the way. So stay safe, be well, and most importantly, raise high. Thank you.
I am pleased now to introduce the class of 2021 speaker, Nasim Hamid. Nasim graduated with a BA in political science from the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences. I love the support. He served in numerous leadership positions at GW, including as president of the Kappa Chi chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity, Inc., vice president of the National Pan-Hellenic Council, vice president of the Black Men's Initiative, and president of the undergraduate chapter of the Black Pre-Law Association. He is in his first year of law school at the University of District of Columbia of Law. Please welcome Nasim Hamid.
First and foremost, I would like to say you all look beautiful out there, by the way. Give yourselves a round of applause. Quick one, quick one. Peace and blessings. I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. Congratulations to the class of 2020 and 2021. We made it. I'm honored to share some brief remarks and a spoken word I wrote called, Have We Made It to the Mountaintop? Have we made it to the mountaintop? Through the terrain, we constantly must find light in the darkness. There's beauty in the struggle, but the struggle is never harmless. Lessons are learned. We have to work twice as hard to earn. We have dedicated years of our lives to an objective, education, seizing an opportunity, not always granted, with no hesitation. The journey will try to deter us, and some will say we weren't meant to be here. They are wrong. Oh, the beautiful mountaintop. I see it in my dreams, from the breeze to the view. If only you could see what I see. I see what some call the promised land, a land where we are all seen, a land where we have gone forward instead of backward, a land where our most beautiful and majestic ideals are fully captured. Liberty, justice, and the pursuit of happiness for all. A place where no story is left out of the narrative. Acknowledgement and growth from our history are imperative. A place where everyone has an equal opportunity to succeed, has access to healthcare, education. We've already made it, some may believe, but we have yet to make it to the mountaintop. The pinnacle, the highest point, it means you can go no further, but we still have a long way to go. The highest point of love is high expectation, so the expectation I have for this nation does not make me anti-anything. We have not made it to the mountaintop because the inequities that fuel my double consciousness, the racial strife that leads to nauseousness, the discrimination, the segregation, the murders, has shown me we can't be at the mountaintop because we deserve better. We demand better. I profess our generation will continue to strive for progress. The attainment of education is one step in the path towards liberation. Prophetic words have been said that the mountaintop has been seen, so let's continue to dream the biggest dream because we will make it to the mountaintop if we keep climbing. There's a quote that has always resonated with me and driven me what I am today and what I still seek to be. Speak what you seek until you see what you said. In my time at GW, I seen my fellow classmates and graduates take on leadership roles, advocate for issues that they are passionate about, and strive daily to make the university and the world a better place. You are speaking your own worlds into existence. Never relent in your motivation. Continue seeking the ever-elusive mountaintop. Continue your pursuit of greatness. Continue speaking what you seek, because everyone on earth has a treasure that awaits them. Congratulations, everyone, and thank you for this honor.
Thank you, Nassim. President LeBlanc will now confer the honorary degrees.
The recipient of the first honorary degree this morning will be introduced by Janice Nicholas. Janice graduated this year with a Bachelor of Professional Studies in Cybersecurity from the College of Professional Studies. She worked in IT for the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences for 8.5 years and now works in the cybersecurity field as a digital forensic examiner with FireEye. Janice?
President LeBlanc, I am honored to present to you Nelson Carbonell Jr., Doctor of Public Service, honoris causa.
Nelson A. Carbonell Jr. is an exceptional businessman, entrepreneur, and tireless advocate for the George Washington University. His longtime commitment to the university and extraordinary philanthropy have been transformational, advancing research, academic excellence, and student success. A scholarship student while at GW, Mr. Carbonell earned a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering with distinction from the School of Engineering and Applied Science. He was an outstanding student, exhibiting both a deep intellect and extraordinary leadership skills. Mr. Carbonell started his first business, a software firm called Cisiv, in the basement of his home, growing it to 500 employees and revenues of $50 million. In subsequent years, he founded Snowbird Capital and Nelson Carbonell and Associates, to assist companies with strategy, financing, operations, and technology. Mr. Carbonell served the GW Board of Trustees for 17 years, including 6 years as chair of the board. During his tenure, he spearheaded the building of GW's state-of-the-art Science and Engineering Hall. He jump-started the $1 billion Making History campaign, and he oversaw the reorganization of the medical enterprise and the acquisition of the Corcoran School of Arts and Design. Together with his wife, Michelle, who's here with us today, Mr. Carbonell has helped make a GW education possible for aspiring engineering students and established a professorship in autism and neurodevelopmental disorders, among many other generous contributions. Mr. Carbonell's service has been acknowledged with multiple awards, including GW's Monumental Alumni Award, the Distinguished Alumni Award, and induction into the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences Hall of Fame. Nelson A. Carbonell, Jr., in recognition of all the foregoing, and by virtue of the authority granted to me by the Congress of the United States of America, vested in the Board of Trustees of the George Washington University, I hereby confer on you the degree of Doctor of Public Service, honoris causa, and declare you fully entitled to all its rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations.
Thank you, President LeBlanc. I am deeply grateful and I am humbled to receive this honorary degree and to join you, the GW community, as yet another degree recipient at long last. This is a special celebration for you, the classes of 2020 and 2021, and I am glad to be among your ranks. First, I want to congratulate all of our graduates and their families. I've been to a few of these commencements while I was on the board, I think 17 of them in total. And I have to say that the experience here on the National Mall never gets old. In particular, giving our graduates the recognition that you have earned never gets less special than today. When I came to GW on an undergraduate scholarship, I never could have imagined how the university would change me. My time in the engineering program, let's go engineering program. The friends I made in Foggy Bottom, the relationships I developed truly changed my life. I know many of you here today have been thinking the same, because no matter where you went after graduating, you came back here today. I hope you will continue to keep the connection that you have with GW, to continue to be a part of this incredible, lifelong, worldwide community. It is a true honor to celebrate with you today. We celebrate your leadership at GW and the ways you already have taken what you learned here to make a positive difference in your communities and around the world. I am proud of each and every one of you, and I know that you will continue to bring distinction to yourselves, to our university, and to your communities. Today and every day, I hope you, like me, are proud to say, I am an alumnus of the George Washington University. Congratulations, graduates, and raise high.
Our second honorary degree recipient will be introduced by Damilola Adewalaju. Damilola graduated last year with honors with a Juris Doctor from GW Law. He is an O'Melveny Secondee in the MacArthur Justice Center's Supreme Court and Appellate Program, where he litigates cases in state and federal courts of appeals and the Supreme Court, defending his clients' constitutional and civil rights. Damilola.
President LeBlanc, I'm honored to present to you Elizabeth Warren, Doctor of Public Service, honoris causa.
Elizabeth Warren is a United States Senator, attorney, and former law professor. During her distinguished career in public service, Senator Warren has earned a reputation as a strong advocate for her constituents in the state of Massachusetts and all Americans. Before becoming the first woman ever elected to the U.S. Senate from the Bay State, Senator Warren served as chair of the Congressional Oversight Panel for the Troubled Asset Relief Program. She is credited with the creation of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, an agency of the U.S. government responsible for consumer protection in the financial sector. A leader in the legal field, for more than 30 years, Senator Warren taught courses on commercial law, contracts, and bankruptcy before her career in politics. She has written more than 100 articles and 12 books to date. Senator Warren, who attended GW as an undergraduate student, is a recipient of the GW Monumental Alumni Award, an honor reserved for those who have made an impact on the world through their work and service, as well as their embodiment of the ideals of our university. Senator Warren's achievements also have been recognized through many other honors, including being cited as Bostonian of the Year by the Boston Globe, receiving the Lila Robinson Award from the Women's Bar Association of Massachusetts, being recognized multiple times as one of the 50 most influential women attorneys in America by the National Law Journal, and being included 4 times on Time Magazine's list of the 100 most influential people in the world. Elizabeth Warren, in recognition of all the foregoing, and by virtue of the authority granted to me by the Congress of the United States of America, vested in the Board of Trustees of the George Washington University, I hereby confer on you the degree of Doctor of Public Service, honoris causa, and declare you fully entitled to all of its rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities.
Good morning, GW. And thank you, President LeBlanc and the Board of Trustees. I am truly grateful for this honorary degree. I cannot tell you how much it means to me. To the class of 2020 and the class of 2021, a double graduation and a double sigh of relief. The late nights, the early mornings, the virtual classes are over. You have made it to the finish line in the face of a global pandemic. You are tough. Congratulations. Now, graduation ceremonies are peculiar events. They bring together community, families, and friends for hours of pomp and circumstance. Meanwhile, the graduates, just take a look around there with that camera. The graduates are nodding in and out, nursing hangovers, tapping their little hearts out, hoping to make a match on Hinge. I just want to say to you graduates, by the way, I've heard that if you add a selfie with me in your profile, the matches roll in. Can't swear to it, but that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Okay, so let's dig into this commencement speech. And let's start with the obvious. You are graduating during a time of tremendous crisis. A global pandemic, a racial reckoning, record income inequality, fires and floods and droughts from accelerating climate change, and the aftermath of an assault on our nation's capital. Okay, that is a downer list on graduation day, but I'm here today because my heart is full of hope. Hope that rests in you, the graduating classes of 2020 and 2021. So here's some simple advice as you enter your next chapter. Focus on what you believe in and then fight like hell for it. Now, I give this advice from experience. I've been known to pick a fight every now and again. Ask a banker or a Bloomberg. But I don't fight for sport. I fight to make things happen. The way I see it, if you want to make change, you have to be willing to make a real commitment. And that means being willing to take the risk that you could get hurt. And yeah, it's risky, but there is a deep joy in choosing fights you believe in. Sometimes you win and the changes take your breath away. But even when you lose, you're not sorry you fought the righteous fights. I ran for president and I lost. But ask me how sorry I am that I ran. Not one bit. Every single day for 15 months, I had the chance to stand up and fight for what I believe in, a chance to fight righteous fights. I got to say, it's better than caffeine. Now, you may already know what you're in this fight for, and if you do, good for you. But I want to tell you why I'm in the ring. It's for you. I fight because I believe that every new generation in this country deserves more opportunity than the last. And I know the value of opportunity firsthand. From the time I was in second grade, I wanted to be a teacher. Can we hear it for our teachers and future teachers out there? But for me to be a teacher, I needed to go to college. And back in Oklahoma, my daddy was a janitor. My mom worked the phones at Sears. There was no money for college. Besides, my mother already had a plan for her only daughter. In fact, 2 plans. Find a husband, raise some kids. I, on the other hand, had a different plan. Always a woman with a plan. I was a high school debater, and I parlayed that into a full scholarship right here at George Washington University. Thank you, GW. Thank you. So here I was, this 16-year-old girl from Oklahoma, headed to college in Washington, D.C. I was over the moon. It was the 1960s, a time of resistance and change in America, civil rights, anti-war, women's liberation, and change was needed. Fun fact, when I unpacked my suitcase at Superdorm, 1900 F Street, oh, go Superdorm, there were still places in America where a married woman could not own property or start a business or sign a contract without her husband's permission. Care to guess where one of those places that was true? I'll help you. Texas. Let's just put a pin in that. So it was a big deal for me to make it to college. GW was the first big door to open for me. And I loved it at GW, and I'm grateful for all that I learned here. But I didn't read the textbook on what to do with that open door. After 2 years, I dropped out, got married, and you guessed it, moved to Texas. Yeah, I dropped out of GW, but I never gave up on my dream of becoming a teacher. And thanks to a commuter college in Texas that cost $50 a semester, I graduated and I taught special ed. Let's hear it one more time for all the teachers. Now, my story has a lot more twists and turns: moving, babies, law school, divorce, swipe left. Second marriage, swipe right. And finally, ending up here with you on this beautiful day. It is an amazing journey, and it's full of a lot of fights ahead still, but it all started with opportunity, a chance to earn that diploma, the one you are about to pick up, a key to the future. I am deeply grateful for those opportunities, deeply grateful. But I never forget, I was one of the lucky ones. For so many women, the doors stayed shut and locked. Those doors kept out women, people of color, poor people. Black and brown women dealt with double helpings of discrimination and disparity. Opportunity was a controlled access road available to those of the right color, the right gender, and the right background. And sure, there is much progress to celebrate today. In Texas, a married woman can sign up for a credit card all on her own. Be still my beating heart. Progress, sure, but don't kid yourself. We are not on a straight line of progress. In fact, right at this moment, even as doors are opening, across this country, other doors are closing. Take a look at what has happened to women, particularly women of color, since COVID hit. There are nearly 2 million fewer women in the workforce than before the pandemic began. In August 2021, hundreds of thousands of new jobs were added to the economy. So how many of those new jobs went to women? 100%? 80%? 50%? No. 11.9% of those jobs went to women. And just in case anyone missed the point, 1 out of 4 women say they can't go back to work because they don't have childcare. And it isn't just economic blows. Over the past year, violence against women and girls has skyrocketed. Suicide rates among girls 12 to 17 jumped more than 50% last year. Domestic violence shelters and helplines have reached capacity. And now, with an extremist Supreme Court, some states have decided to tell women that they must bear the burden of an unwanted pregnancy, even one resulting from rape or incest. And they have empowered self-proclaimed bounty hunters to go after anyone who might help people struggling to find an abortion. And yes, Texas, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you again because you are so wrong. Can I make just one little observation to the side? Right now, progressives in Congress are holding strong in support of President Biden's Build Back Better agenda. And yeah, there's a lot of talk about the price tag, but you want to know who benefits most from this agenda? Women. A big reconciliation package means universal child care for mamas and babies. It means raising the wages of every child care worker and preschool teacher in America. It means home care for millions of seniors and people with disabilities. That's what progressives are fighting for, and we will hold the line until we win this fight. Which brings me to all of you. Progress is not one and done. Today, people who were once left out of the conversation have more seats at the table, but we are a long way from true equality. So here's my advice to you. Get in the fight. Get in the fight for opportunity. Race, gender, sexual identity, opportunity to survive in a world not suffocated by climate change or bled to death by wars. You're here. You've graduated, you have tools, you have power. You have used the opportunity given to you. So now, get in the fight to expand opportunity for someone else. Now, your fight doesn't have to be full-time, but it could be. It doesn't have to be national, but it could be. You get to pick the fight, and you even get to pick how to fight it. And there are a lot of ways to do this. Let me offer one. Get in the fight for our democracy. Expand voting rights, end gerrymandering, and if that means getting rid of the filibuster, toss the damn thing on the trash heap of history. Be conscious of the racial element of every fight. Every crisis we face, from unemployment to climate, falls hardest on Black and brown women and their families. It is on all of us to become anti-racist and to take on the fight to advance racial justice. And yes, now more than ever, we need you in the fight for reproductive justice. Because opportunity starts with control over your own body. It is time for Congress to pass the Women's Health Protection Act and get Roe versus Wade written into law. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's a lot to carry. And after all, some of you are barely sober this morning. Yeah, it's a lot to carry. But this is the moment you have been called to. A once-in-a-generation chance to redefine opportunity in America. Now is the time to make a down payment on the America you will live in. Now is the time to set the course for generations to come. In a few minutes, you're going to pick up your diploma. You'll embrace friends and family that you haven't seen in person for a long, long time. Many of you have been in the business of selling furniture online, turning in keys to old apartments, and you'll stand there and wave at your friends while their cars pull away. So in these final moments that you have with each other, make a promise to yourself. Make a promise to your parents, a promise to your teachers, a promise to your friends who helped get you here, a promise that wherever you go in life, you will fight for what you believe in. I promise you will never be sorry if you fight a righteous fight. So here's to you, class of 2020 and class of 21. Get out there, dream big, fight hard, and build an America we can all be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Warren, for those timely and inspirational remarks. Graduates, commencement is a time to celebrate your accomplishments, and we are thrilled to be able to do so today in person. It is my hope that this is just one stage in your educational journey as you live a life of inquiry, discovery, and service. Now, the president of the university will celebrate the associates, bachelor's, master's, doctoral, and professional degrees that were conferred upon the classes of 2020 and 2021 in May of 2020 and May of 2021. I ask the deans to rise and come forward in the order of the founding of their schools. Graduates, as your dean announces degrees from your college or school, please rise and remain standing until all of the degrees of the university are called. For degrees in Columbian College of Arts and Sciences, Dean Paul Walbeck.
President LeBlanc, it is with great pride that I present the recipients of the following degrees. Would the graduates from the Columbian College please rise and let Washington hear you today? The degrees conferred are Associate in Arts, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Science, Master of Arts, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Forensic Sciences, Master of Philosophy, Master of Psychology, Master of Public Administration, Master of Public Policy, Master of Science, Doctor of Philosophy, and Doctor of Psychology. These graduates completed all requirements for their degrees indicated, and the degrees have been conferred.
For degrees in the School of Medicine and Health Sciences, Dean Barbara Bass.
Thank you, President LeBlanc. It's my distinct honor to present the recipients of the following degrees. Will the graduates please rise? Hey. Associate in Science, Bachelor of Science in Health Sciences, Master of Science in Health Sciences, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Doctor of Occupational Therapy, Doctor of Philosophy, and Doctor of Medicine. These graduates have completed all requirements for the degrees indicated, and the degrees have been conferred.
For degrees in GW Law, Dean Dana Bowen Matthew.
President LeBlanc, it is my great pleasure to present the graduates of GW Law. Please rise. These are the recipients of the Master of the Studies of Law, of the Juris Doctorate degree, of the Master of Laws, and the Doctor of Juridical Sciences. These graduates have completed all of the requirements for those degrees, and the degrees have been conferred.
Thank you, Dean Matthew.
For degrees in the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences, Dean John Locke.
President LeBlanc,
Dean Locke.
I am pleased to present to you the recipients of the degrees. Would the graduates please rise? Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Master of Science, Master of Engineering, Engineer, Applied Scientist, Doctor of Engineering and Engineering Management, Doctor of Philosophy. These graduates completed all requirements for the degrees indicated, and the degrees have been conferred.
Thank you, Dean Locke.
For degrees in the Graduate School of Education and Human Development, Dean Michael Foyer.
President LeBlanc, I am very proud to present the recipients of the degrees from the globally preeminent Graduate School of Education and Human Development. Would our great graduates please rise? Master of Arts in Education and Human Development, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Education, Education Specialist, Doctor of Education, and Doctor of Philosophy. These graduates, thanks to the fine work of their exquisitely well-qualified faculty and staff, have completed all the requirements for these degrees, and I ask that they be conferred.
Thank you, Dean Foyer.
For degrees in the School of Business, Dean Anuj Mehrotra.
President LeBlanc, it is with great pleasure that I present the recipients of the degrees from the School of Business. Will the leaders who will shape the world of business globally please rise? Bachelor of Accountancy, Bachelor of Business Administration, Bachelor of Science, Master of Accountancy, Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Business Analytics, Master of Science in Finance, Master of Science in Government Contracts, Master of Science in Information Systems Technology, Master of Science in Project Management, Master of Tourism Administration, Masters in Management, Master of Science in Sport Management, Master of Human Resource Management, Master of Interdisciplinary Business Studies, and Doctor of Philosophy. These graduates completed all requirements for the degrees indicated, and these degrees have been confirmed.
Thank you, Dean Moroso.
Thank you.
For degrees in the Elliott School of International Affairs, Dean Alyssa Ayers.
President LeBlanc.
Here.
I am so proud to present the recipients of the degrees of the Elliott School. Would the Elliott School graduates please rise? Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Master of Arts, Master of International Policy and Practice, Master of International Studies. These graduates have completed all requirements for the degrees indicated, and the degrees have been conferred. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dean Ayers.
For degrees in the Milken Institute School of Public Health, the Michael Laurian Milken Dean of Public Health, Lynn Goldman.
President LeBlanc, I am delighted to present the recipients of the degrees. With the courageous, passionate, and committed graduates of the Milken Institute School of Public Health, please rise. Bachelor of Science, Master of Science, Master of Health Administration, Master of Public Health, Doctor of Public Health, Doctor of Philosophy. These graduates have completed all requirements for the degrees indicated, and the degrees have been conferred. Thank you.
For degrees in the College of Professional Studies, Dean Melissa Foy.
Dean Foyer.
I'm proud to present the recipients of the following degrees. Would the graduates please rise? Bachelor of Professional Studies and Master of Professional Studies. These graduates have completed all requirements for the degrees indicated, and the degrees have been conferred.
Thank you, Dean Foyer.
For degrees in the School of Nursing, Dean Pamela Slavin Lee.
President LeBlanc,
Dean Slavin Lee.
I am incredibly proud and humbled to present the outstanding recipients of the following degrees. Would the graduates please rise? Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Master of Science in Nursing, Doctor of Nursing Practice. These graduates completed all requirements for the degrees indicated, and the degrees have been conferred. Congratulations, nurses.
President LeBlanc, before you stand the recipients of associates, bachelor's, master's, doctoral, and professional degrees of the George Washington University.
Graduates, you have earned this moment. I know you will continue to bring distinction to yourselves, to your communities, and to your alma mater. May you continue to carry your GW education and your commitment to serve others and to have a positive impact on our world with you every day. Congratulations to every one of you.
Congratulations, graduates. Please join Millicent Scarlett in singing your alma mater. And in case you don't know it, the words are on the back of your program. And please remain standing for the academic recession. Congratulations to the classes of 2020 and 2021. Families, friends, this concludes our ceremony. Thank you for joining us today. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Thank you.